Zoom room. Oh, to a dynamic speaker, trainer. This lady comes to us out of the great state of Texas, where I am from. She was the first of everything in the state of Texas for Planet Marketing because she was a founding director. And y'all, she is a presidential diamond ring earner, which signifies earnings of over $500,000 residually in a 12-month calendar period. She's a top 10 money earner within Planet Marketing worldwide out of over 122,000 active agents. Y'all, that's a lot of people to be top 10. Okay, that means she's bad to the bone. And guess what? She has a team of over 16,000 independent travel agents worldwide. And she was Planet Marketing's 2022 MVP. And that's why she stays on everybody's short list of trainers, mentors, and coaches. Everybody wants her to come and train them and coach them. But I'm lucky because she's one of my coaches right here in my state. Y'all, I'm going to get myself out of the way and welcome to the front of the Zoom room, 6-star founding director, JP Watkins Mukes. Coach Mukes, are you there?
I am here, Miss Cheryl Henderson. Y'all give it up for Cheryl. Give it up. She has such a sweet, loving, and soothing voice. I could just sit and listen to Cheryl all day because she definitely has that voice that just captures your attention. But this young lady said nothing about herself. She is an HR director. She's done that for many decades. She is the person to hire you, and yet she is the person to fire you. But she is the person who, decided to add something to her portfolio, not leaving corporate America, but adding entrepreneurship to her list of duties. She wears a hat as a mom. She also wears a hat as a grandma. Can you believe it? Because she looks absolutely amazing. But she also is a 1-star director, top of the 1% of the company that we are in. And this young lady is only just getting started. She is bad to the bone. And I'm so grateful that she's a part of our amazing organization. Thank you, Cheryl, for serving today. Those of you who are on this Zoom today, Happy New Year to everybody. You heard the glory, but let me tell you the story. You don't know the story. Cheryl said a lot of exciting things about me. She talked about how I was able to build a team of 16,000 agents around the world. She talked about the money being up over $500,000. She talked about that, but the story is that 10 years ago it was very different, right? It was very different. How many of you like hearing people when they were climbing? Anybody like to hear the Cinderella story? Like when the person was in the ashes, how they went from zero to nothing. Let me tell you a little background information that I was one of those individuals that went to school, got my education, got my degree here in Texas, in Houston, Texas Southern University. Shout out to my HBCUs. And guys, I did the fun stuff. Cheryl and I are D9 sisters. She's a Zeta, I'm a Delta. We did that kind of stuff. But no one ever talked to me about real freedom. They said, go get a job. So I did that. 20 years in property management. I was a property manager. Guys, I would sell you your apartment. I would lease them up. I hired the staff. I trained the staff. I did that for 20 years, helping my company make millions. And after 20 years, I thought to myself, why am I not further along in my journey? And I just became a little bit, I will say, despondent. I wasn't happy. And I was thinking, I don't want to be here for another 20 years. Like, do I see myself doing this for 30 more years? Because retirement was not on my radar. Like, I couldn't see myself retiring anytime soon. And what I realized is that retirement has nothing to do with age, it has everything to do with income. And I didn't have anything in play, just kind of existing year to year. Every year I was saying, Happy New Year. No purpose, no plan, nothing in play. But God had a plan. How many of you know that God has a plan? And so April 4th of 2014, I was fired. I was let go, downsized within 1 year. It didn't even take 1 year, y'all. I was flat broke. My money was funny and my change was strange. I was living at home with my mom. I had to move back home at 40. It was not sexy. It wasn't cute. Along with that came depression. Along with that came doubt in myself. Along with that came with questioning every decision that I made up until that point. But how many of you know when you're down to nothing, that's when God is up to something? And I met Mr. Donald Bradley, who is my mentor, who is our founder and CEO. And he said, Miss Watkins, you've been working hard, but not smart. And if you would monetize your talent, you should exercise your entrepreneurial rights. I was like, what is an entrepreneurial right? How many of you, it's news to you, you can be your own boss? Like everybody in my whole life said, go get a job, go get a job. And there's nothing wrong with getting a job if you are 100% happy. And I wasn't. I didn't even know I had options. Somebody put in the chat options. You have options today. And I decided that I was going to exercise my entrepreneurial rights. He said, if you follow my leadership, I will help you make more money than you've ever made in your life. I said, okay, what do I have to lose? And I followed his leadership. And again, my one application became 16,000 families later all over the world, 20 countries. And I took this brunch blessing, I call it a brunch blessing because the investment was $200. And that's what I spend on brunch with me and my girls. And guys, I was able to build a $500,000 income. This year will be my $1,000,000 year from brunch money, from brunch money. So I tell you to say, all I had to do was help people. All I had to do was help people make money, save money on the travel industry, which everybody loves. Everybody enjoys the travel industry. So it was a no-brainer for me. It's been a decade later. I got started October the 26th, 2015. And guys, it has been an amazing journey. And I love it because every time the clock strikes 12 year to year, since 2015, my income has increased. I was able to make six figures my first year. My second or third year, I was able to make $250,000, went into $500,000. And this year, we will go also every single year, my money has gone up. But here's what else went up: my responsibilities to help. My responsibilities to help. I've had to dedicate my life to helping and educating people on how to make money and save money and how to build an empire. And I want somebody to put in the chat, build an empire. That's what my mentor did for me. He helped me to understand the art of building an empire, how to do it, how to be an entrepreneur. And that's what I do all day, every day. And guys, I love it. If you like helping people like me, you are going to love what you're going to hear today. And one of the individuals that I've been able to help, coach, and mentor is an individual that started out being someone I did business with for 8 years, who turned into a friend, who turned into a business partner. This young lady has been doing my makeup for 8 years. And so she didn't do my makeup today. I wish she had, because she bad to the bone, but this is just something a sister threw together. But she bad, y'all. She did my makeup for a photo shoot that I did for my team. And talked to her about the business, and she said no. She shut it down. And I remember my mother, Miss Ima, sitting in her chair. We were getting some makeup done for something. And Brandi said to my mom, you know what? I have a family reunion. Could you book that for me? And my mom said, well, you could book it. You could get the commission on this cruise. And she said, nah, you go ahead. You go ahead and get the commission, because she thought this was a little taste of money, a little teaspoon of money. This was beneath her. And guys, there's so many individuals who discount the industry of network marketing, Eula. There are people who don't understand, Tatiana, the industry of network marketing is legitimate. And so she was just like me. I didn't understand what it was. I didn't know what it was. And so she declined the check. And so Miss Ima, months later, thanked her for the $2,000 that she earned. Brandi said, the 2,000 what? 2,000 what? And at that time, she got started, because she said, Miss Ima, you're not going to get another one of my checks. And so for about 3 or 4 years, Brandi continued to do makeup, continued to book travel. She saved money, made money on her travel for about 4 years. Did not share the opportunity with anyone. And guys, we are not over here to pressure people. She kept doing my makeup. I kept paying her. She kept living her life. And we lived our lives that way for about 4 years. No pressure. And it's funny because she got married last February. And on social media, it went viral. And I saw the couture gown. I saw the wedding was the wedding of the, it was just fabulous. And I called Brandi, and something in my spirit, I'll just say, God, something in my spirit said, she's ready. And so I had a conversation I had not had with her in 4 years. And I said, meet me at Papa Do's because we love the Do's. Okay. We love the Papa Do's. And I said, meet me for lunch. And we had some lunch, we had some drinks, and we were talking about life and everything. And I said, would you allow me to coach you to six figures this year? And she said, yes. Now, mind you, she had said, no, 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 no. But this time she was ready. Somebody put in the chat, timing is everything. So we cannot be frustrated with our friends. We cannot give up on people. We cannot take it personal. It was just the timing was right. And so February, March of 2024, she hit the ground running. And this young lady has now frontline sponsored 80 families personally. She now has a team in the past 11 months, 10 months that is 400 plus families. She went 1 star, 2 star. She's about to hit 3 star director in this company in less than a year. She's won awards, guys. Fireball, Impact Player. She is recognized. The founder of this company has even had his eyes on her and said she's a rising star. And so I'm so very proud to introduce to some and present to others none other than Miss Brandi Holmes Dennison, 2 star going 3 star director. Do we have you on the line today, Brandi?
Hey, Coach. Happy Freedom Friday. Woo, almost got teary-eyed with that introduction. Yeah.
Girl, it's been a long time coming to this point, and I love your story because so many on the Zoom today may have said no, 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 and wasn't trying to be mean, but just didn't understand what they had in their hands. So I would love for you to just kind of comment on what was the light bulb moment for you? What opened your eyes so that you said, you know what? It's some money over here, and I'm about to build my empire.
Oh my goodness. So many things. Good afternoon, everybody. But the main thing was just watching you. I kept seeing you elevate. I kept seeing your life become better. You were way more vibrant. You went from your mom's house to a high rise, from the Range Rover to the Bentley, from the high rise to the home, from no nail to Chanel. Like, you was just elevating. And so I was just like, Brandi, what did you miss? Like, there's something you missed, because even though I'm so grateful for where my life was and God was really providing and watching out for me, I wasn't really soaring in the way that I knew I could. And I knew something was missing. So when you set me down that day and said it, one, I was in the space to receive. Most people, or some people, know my story. I was married and ended up divorcing that first husband, and then found who my purpose partner is. So I was whole and I was healed, and I was ready to explore this opportunity in the right light. So that's
The
what it was.
right light. I love that. And so many individuals, discount network marketing as one of those things. And we're taught go to school, get an education, get a degree. Well, you said no degree for me. I'm going to go straight into entrepreneurship. But when you are a sole proprietor, which there's a lot of people on the line today supporting you that are in the beauty industry. There are lash techs on, there are hairstylists on, there are makeup artists on, there are barbers on. If you are a sole proprietor, though, you got to touch every dollar, and as time goes on and we age, all of us age, right? Father Time don't have no favorites. And so you begin to realize, okay, am I going to be doing prom queens at 70? How is this going to work for my life? And so we talked about learning to make money and not be present, learning to not have to be present and touch every dime and every dollar. So travel sells itself. I just want to back up because you were selling travel when you got in. You were doing a little tapping, but you were mainly your best customer. But then you realize, hey, other people can make money and partner with me. So talk about the two, because we're a part of a company called IntelliTravel, but we're also a part of Planet Marketing. And those two companies allow us to marry what we're doing, but we can empower other people. And I want you to talk about that because you were just on the travel side for years, but you decided, okay, hold on, I'm going to build an empire.
Yes. So listen, the travel side makes sense. And so when I came on to the company, I was like, okay, Brandi, you already have the spirit of if you love it, turn it into a business. So I loved makeup, so I became a makeup artist. I love skincare. I developed my own skincare line. I love Black fashion. I opened up a boutique. I love singing. I started a band. Everything that I loved, I figured out how to make money in it. So I love to travel. So the travel side was easy for me. But what was hard for me was the recruiting. Because when I saw the opportunity of recruiting, I said, okay, look, it makes sense. I can see how the money, happens, because I did the Mary Kay thing for a little bit. It didn't really work out for me. But I had to realize, Brandi, it works if you work. And that was my problem. You know what I'm saying? I would kind of just sit back and hope that somebody would see me traveling and be like, hey, you travel. How can I do that? I wanted people to come to me, really, because I was like, that was my comfort zone of them coming to me, because as a makeup artist, they came to me, right? I have the makeup on, they go online, they book the appointment, they come to me. When you sell clothes and if they like the clothes, they come to you. This is a type of opportunity that you have to offer to people. And so that gave me a little bit of fear, actually having to go to people and say, hey, have you ever thought about making and saving money in the number one industry? And when I started just getting around the coaches and mentors, which was the main thing that I was missing in all of my entrepreneur venture, is I was working with this one mind that I only had. And this one mind can only get me so far. I had to get around people that knew more than me, that had explored more than me, that had been in bigger rooms than I had been in, because that's where you elevate and grow. So once I got around the coaching and the mentorship and learned my business, and that's the one thing that most people need to do. You need to learn the business that you're in. Then I started to expand not only my mindset, but also my bank account.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yes.
There's so many nuggets that you drop because number one, I don't think that many of us understand the power of the network that we're in. Your crew does define you. If you got 5 broke friends, newsflash, you number 6. And so the birds of a feather do flock together. And so sometimes we are the top dog in our crew and we're doing good, but to be around, how important is it, Brandi, to be around a group of people that say, if you're making 100,000, you're on the low end of 6 figures. There are levels to this. How does it feel to be around individuals that say, we are going to be millionaires? We are focused. How is it to be around people that are not trying to get the cheapest, but they want to go luxury? You're around people that have multiple houses. You were at the CEO's lake house, right? Being treated like a queen. And the places that we go, it's just a different, you're surrounding yourself. And sometimes that's scary because you already are a social media influencer. You already have a following and your conversation shifted because your crew shifted. And so many people hang on to my followers won't like it. They broke followers don't like it. You care about your broke followers and what they think. And so talk about how your crew has begun to evolve. Now you still got some of those friends, but you've added a group of people who are just on that next level right now.
Let me tell you, until I got comfortable with being okay with wanting to be rich, and that's really the problem. A lot of us are not okay with wanting to be rich. And I'm a preacher's kid. My dad is actually on the Zoom today. And, as a preacher's kid, there can be things that you may not necessarily are taught, but that you see, right? And there's this thing with being saved and loving God that being rich can't go hand in hand. Having that overflow and that now we will talk about it. We will say he'll pour out more into you, but overflow, da da da. But soon as you start to get rich and get the luxury in the cars and get the houses and get the thing, all of a sudden you no longer love God. You're not as saved as you used to be. And so I battled with that. Even though I had money and I made, the way that I dress up and look like I was rich, I can make Walmart look rich. I wasn't going into the Louis Vuittons looking rich, but you would have thought that I had money like that. So I really had to get comfortable with that, Brandi. It's okay wanting more. And so once I got comfortable in my mind that it's okay wanting more, that's when I started getting in the rooms with people who had it. Because until you change your mindset that more is what you want, you will not change where your feet move. And so once my mind got elevated on Brandi, you cannot save nobody until you save yourself. You cannot help the poor until you get out of the poor line. You cannot secure your family until you secure yourself. That's when I said, okay, playtime's over. Game time is up. It is time to get in the game and play it. So even though I love my friends, some of my friends have joined me in this business. They use it for, and that was my whole thing. So I'm like, listen, if you don't want to work it, that's fine. But guys, don't be like spending full price and not making money back on what you're already doing. Like, you just be at least that smart. Like, cause then I'm gonna have to question you in this friendship. You know what I'm saying? So that was good. But I knew I had to get around from being around them all the time, because we were just reheating the same soup. You know what I'm saying? We were just talking the same conversation. We were not getting in those rooms where people have multiple homes, where they are excited to pay $1 million in taxes. We over here borrowing kids and trying to see what can be written off, and, how can I tweak this and tweak that? But when I got under Mr. Bradley said, Brandi, when I pay $1 million in taxes, do you know how much money I'm making to pay $1 million in taxes? He's like, I'm excited. That's a whole nother level of conversation. When I went to that lake house and got in that boat, and he was driving us around and he was just showing us homes, what he was doing, he was planting the vision. And sometimes you need that. And that's what mentors and coaches do for you. I love being coached by you because you know how to push my buttons. Okay. You know that Brandi operates in the spirit of competition. And it just is what it is. With me being a preacher's kid and then having a heavy relationship with my dad, I operated in competition. In high school, they said, Brandi, you cannot graduate in 3 years. It ain't going to happen. I was like, bet. And then I wasn't the most liked. So they were saying, Brandi, you ain't going to get all school favorite. Bet. Got it. Why? Because I was the teacher's favorite. So that's what makes stuff shift. And then I dropped out of college. I was like, listen, college is not for me. I got to go to work. I need this money. My dad was like, listen, you either going to go to school or you're going to go to work. But what you ain't going to do is sit up in this house. Bet. I got 4 jobs. I went to work. I moved out at 19. I said, there's too many grown people in the house. I'm moving out at 19. Then even with me competing, I was on American Idol. I have always been in the spirit of competition. But for some reason, when you get older, the competition stopped. There was no trophies to be had. There was nobody pushing me for greater. There was nobody saying, no, you got another goal, another level you need to reach, until I got under your coaching and mentorship, honey, because you set me down that day. And when you said, allow me to coach you to high 6-figure earning salary, I was like, nobody has ever wanted me to succeed except me. I've had my people that cheer me on, that say, go girl, you got it, you doing good, but they could not impart any more wisdom and any more knowledge and direction than what I was already giving myself. So I said, listen, Brandi, The times are changing. You see what the economy is doing. The cost is continuing to rise. You already have too much month left instead of money. So like get under somebody who has a proven blueprint of success. And once I did that, it was on and popping. And if anybody is on here and you're not in the business and you don't have coaching and mentorship, first thing I want to say is lean not on your own understanding. Because what happens is we see this business and we hear how you can win in it and you get scared. This business is the entrepreneurial hack. I'm around now 7,000 individuals every year at convention that I would never have met before, who now know I'm a makeup artist, so they're hiring me for that. They're shopping online. They're whatever the case may be. They're in my inbox. Go, Brandi, tell me how you did this. This is how I did that. I'm creating the relationships in a networking company who know how to network. So I just encourage people that know your success may not come in that big, beautiful package with the red bow that you think is going to come in, because God is setting you up first to be a servant, to be of service, a servant leader. You got to serve. You got to give people what they need so you can get what you need. So no, you're not going to be on stage at the beginning of this. You're not going to be making all the money when you start this, because the first thing that's going to shift is your mindset. And once that changes, that's when you start to elevate and succeed financially.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And it takes time. Anything worth having takes time. And I think a lot of times, we are on social media. I know that you're a big, people look at you and they don't realize that you were doing makeup over a decade. You weren't, an overnight success. And so this business, you have had to be humble. And I got to give you your props. I got to give you credit, because you are a joy to work with. And many people say, women can't work together. There is cattiness, and sometimes that turns people off, because we do work together in this business. And I love the fact that you are so humble and so coachable. And I was telling Kiana that in the previous Zoom, that it's just fun to be around people that your mindset is not, trying to, why are you talking to me like that? Why are you pushing me out my comfort zone? It's receive. Like, okay, you telling me I can get this done? I can get my money up. You telling me I can get this, and you're receiving it. And I want to encourage more people on the Zoom today to receive it. Don't fight it. Don't push back. Mr. Bradley, I remember him telling me that you're going to be a millionaire, and I told him no. I actually said, no, I don't need all that. But it was my broke mentality. It was stinking thinking. Sometimes we need people to believe bigger than us. And we got to just, if you're on a Zoom today, like, believe bigger, faster. Believe bigger, faster, because there's more on the table. Now, let's talk about the money real quick, because we got individuals that want to know. You actually booked the hotel rooms for your wedding. You booked the family reunion that, yeah, most people come back from family reunions with a headache. You came back with a check. So you have been getting some travel checks, but also, with them 80 people that you sponsored, you made $50 a person. You've been making money and not be present. So talk a little bit about the money.
Yes. I mean, the money is great. I mean, the money has definitely allowed me to do things, because of course I'm still working as all my full-time entrepreneurial jobs. This is not quit your job day. So I am still very active in my other businesses, but what this has allowed me to do is have a little bit more peace. When I am struggling financially, I don't sleep. I don't eat well. It's just a lot of things that happens mentally and physically when you're in the struggle. So when it came time for my wedding, I was lit. We getting married in New Orleans, first of all. So we already in one of the funnest cities. And then I was able to put 2 hotel rooms to the side for my friends and family to come in. And I just sent them the link. I literally called up the hotel. I said, listen, I'm a travel advisor. I would like to do a room block. They's like, how many rooms do you want to block? I blocked 20 at one. I blocked 10 at another. And they made the own specified link. I sent it out to my friends and family. They did all the work, and I got paid over $1,400 in commission from doing that. And listen, my cake was about a little over 1,400. So, it covered something, because that first wedding, I didn't walk away with nothing, including a man. Okay, let's be real. Walk away with anything.
And
So,
good for that. And good for that. We left that in the past.
right. So this time I was able to walk away with a band and an amazing man, and it was just an amazing win. But this year we just went on our family cruise for Thanksgiving week, which was so much fun. We did not want to get off the boat. It was absolutely amazing. And what I love about it, I was able to take my dad, and I was able to take him without him spending a dollar. And guys, that's not cheap. You know, I got him his room, and you know, you already got to pay double occupancy, even if he was in there by himself. So I got his room, got his flight, got his hotel the night before. I would not have been able to do that if I was not in this business. So not only did PlanNet provide the money for me to do it, but IntelliTravel then paid me $2,000 in commission from doing it. So when I'm trying to tell people about this opportunity and they're like, the light bulb is off, I want to just like knock them in their forehead, like, turn it on, turn your lights on, because this business just makes so much sense. And then to know that it is founded by Mr. Bradley, who runs it on biblical principles. It was just a win-win. This man literally said, I want average individuals to earn above average income. So even when I'm talking to people that say they love to help people, or maybe they're in the church, I'm like, don't you want to tithe more? Like, I mean, don't you want to help your church more? Your church is feeding the poor, they're giving to the kids, they're doing this, and you still paying $20 in offerings and tithes. Get your money up in a business and help your church. If that's what if that's your real goal. Because a lot of people say, well, I don't even like people. I don't want to talk to people. I'm not telling nobody about this opportunity. I'm like, well, what if God didn't like you?
No.
How would that work? So yes, the money over here is great, but it's not going to be instant. Nothing is going to be instant. And I don't want no fast money because it go fast. And I don't want quick money because it go quick. So you have to be able to build anything that you want. And the only way to get to the financial freedom is building a team. Building and booking travel, that's great. Do that. Like that's a given. But go help somebody else do the same thing. Absolutely.
Well, you know what's really interesting is so many individuals don't understand that they're overthinking, the obvious. And what I love about IntelliTravel, they're the ones that innovated and said, the home-based travel agency. And there was a time that travel agents, you always say this, it makes me laugh. You thought travel agents had to be retired, wearing a headset, and at a storefront. That was your idea of a travel agent. You didn't know a travel agent looked like this, honey. Look like you. We all look different. We're all from different backgrounds. I have 3,000 travel agents on my team: London, Wales, Ireland, Scotland. This business allows diversity. It allows flexibility. It is not a local business. It is not a small thing. Brandi, talk about, it's big. Travel is an $8 trillion industry going to $15 trillion. It is not something that we do just for fun. We do it for business. We do it for bereavement. We do it for sickness and health. I mean, travel is big, and so many people minimize, and they just don't see that they're leaving $1 trillion on the table.
Oh my goodness, we could be on this one all day, okay? Because I had a struggle with this really when COVID hit. It's $60 a month to be in the business, and me being a makeup artist, I'm in a business where the world got to be open. You know what I'm saying? Weddings got to be going, birthday parties got to be popping, date night got to be happening, and all of that was shut down. So I did move at the beginning in a space of fear when COVID hit. And I was just like, I remember calling, and this is what's crazy. You weren't even really coaching and mentoring me at that time. But clearly God has been moving in this whole thing these past 4 years, because for me to even call you and tell you that I'm about to quit, it's like, I ain't even got to call. I don't even talk to her about the business. We do makeup business, not the travel business. Right. But there was still a friendship there to where I wanted to kind of give you a heads up. And I called and I was in a panic, and I'm like, listen, it's COVID. I'm gonna have to quit this business. And you was like, hold on. And I'll never forget, you got Shedrick White, who is now the number one earner in the company, coming from Papados as a waiter and now making over $100,000 a month. Is just insane. So when he got on the phone and you were telling him, who I was and how I was wanting to quit, he said, sweetheart, can I be honest with you? And I'm like, yeah. He said, cancel your cable, cancel your Netflix. Like, cancel what is not yielding you a return on your investment. Never cancel your business. And that one little sentence right there was the start of changing my mindset. It was a start, because that never crossed my mind. Listen, I was buying the fake nails that to get my to make sure I had my nails on in my house. That isn't that crazy? Like I was
Nobody can see it.
money. Right. Spending money on things that would never yield a return. But for some reason, I thought that $60 was just going to save my month. I just knew if I just had that $60, that all my bills was going to be paid. Like it was the worst stinking thinking that I could have ever had, because a lot of people will look at this opportunity and they will say, oh my gosh, it's $200 and $60 a month. That's a bill. I got to add another bill. You're not adding another bill, boo boo. You are adding a business. You can tap into this business and you can reap money back and reap all types of rewards. So first I had to like get over the fear that I'm operating a business for $60 a month, which is insane, because my monthly for my business I have right now, y'all, is $250 a month to operate my website. So $60 a month shouldn't have been the thing that scared me. And then shoot, I didn't rambled on that. I forgot what the question was. Didn't even answer your question. Lord, I was so mad that I even thought about quitting this business. And now I look at my account and I'm just like, thank you, Lord, that I did not quit. Thank you, Lord, that I sat under somebody with some bigger brains than me and stayed in this thing. But yes, okay.
And Brandi, I've watched people for the past decade that I've been here come and go. I've watched thousands of people on my team come and go. I see Director Charlotte Moore on today. She is a baby boomer on the move. And four of her upline quit, in the past, decade. So I've watched people come and go. But one thing about working with you, and as my makeup artist, you were never no show. You were never late. And anytime I said, let's do makeup, it could have been 6 a.m., 5 a.m. You had a work ethic that was beast. You had integrity. So some people on the Zoom today, like me, already got work ethic. You're bringing something to the table, but what Mr. Bradley said is we're not monetizing our gift in a major way. You being a solopreneur, it's only so many faces you can do in a day. You're not a robot. You're not an actual robot, even though, yeah, you're a machine. So the one thing that we have learned to do is empower others. And I want somebody to put in the chat, empower others. And that's one of the things that you did kind of like as an influencer, but so many people don't realize. I remember the day where you started breaking goal builders in this company. You started helping people, and I remember them going to the front of the room, getting their pens, and you becoming teary-eyed. And I looked at you and I said, Brandi, did you think that you were going to be like building this team, helping people? And I said, it's bigger than you. And you realize that now over 400 families that will this year be 1,000 families. A lot of people don't understand. It's not about you. It's not only is this a big industry, not only is it a big company, it's bigger than you.
Absolutely. I'm not teary-eyed because I know we need money. Let's just be serious. People need money. 95% of the issues that people have can be fixed by money. And a lot of times people they don't want to own it. You need a new car, you need money. You need therapy, you need money. You want to move into a better neighborhood, you need money. So when I saw people going up and they was winning, I'm like, Brandi, you opened up your mouth, you turned them onto an opportunity, and these people now are saving their family. Now, how can you not help it? Listen, it's all good to send people prayers, okay? But at some point, you got to help people with their money. I got tired of saying, I'm going to pray for you, and people was needing money. And I couldn't give it, or I couldn't give them an opportunity. I can't give people my hands and my makeup brushes. They cannot go out here and become a makeup artist. I can't give people my skills in leadership. My leadership skills are getting better because I am under amazing leadership. There are certain things that you cannot pass on. This business, you can offer it. You can pass it on. You can teach people how to grow in it. You can teach people how to change their mindset. You can teach people how to succeed. This is the only thing that I have found in my 25 years of entrepreneurship that I am actually helping people. Now, was I helping people when I was doing makeup? Yes. But if you were coming to me getting your makeup done for a first date or a date night, and then the date don't work out and you wash your face off, you're right back to whatever depression or whatever hole you was in at the beginning. But over here, I have people that's getting checks weekly, that's getting commissions, monthly, that's succeeding. Tatiana just bought a brand new vehicle. Planet helped her do that. Like, do you know how she ran her BMW in the ground over 200,000 miles, got in this business, got her a brand new Jag. Now she rolling and I'm going to be riding with her. Okay. But like you hear those stories, Gabby, who just survived cervical cancer, but she's in rehab right now. She's learning to walk again. She saw our excitement for this business and how we was growing. And she said, I don't care if I'm in this hospital bed. I cannot wait any longer. I have 6 kids who need me. And if I'm not here, this business will still be here. So the legacy that Mr. Bradley put in this business just speaks to the heart of who he is. He said, listen, y'all are going to come in here. Y'all are going to kill it. Y'all are going to work hard. And when you die, because it's not if, it's when, because at some point, God's calling us all home. When you die, what you have done in this business as at least a 1-star director will still be passed down to your kids, kids, your family, whoever you want to give it to. When you lose that job, that's it. You're a testament of that. You was down and out within a year, lost everything, your home, your car, you're living back home with your mom, but you said never again will I be in that space. And I was, on social media today, and I was reading, we all know what happened in New Orleans. It's super sad, super unfortunate for all of them people that, were involved in that craziness of that person dying. But there was a lady who made a post. She was hit by the vehicle and she was also shot in her foot. And she works for Amazon, and them people did not give her a leave. They did not approve her leave. Like, this is national news. And this job is like pretty much, so what? We're not approving this. That is insane to me. And over here to know, like, you and Lavonda, y'all were able to be with your dad when, your dad was going on to glory. You were able to pay for that, without having to do a fish fry or a GoFundMe. This is what we're talking about when we're saying get away from the poverty line. We're not talking about going to get Chanel bags and Louis. All that's going to come. That kind of stuff is going to come. You keep growing. We're talking about saving your family. We're talking about when your mom and dad call and they have an emergency that's $5,000. And if you can't immediately send that over to them, it's a problem. We are too old and too grown at this point to not be able to help our families, but we got to make the decision. It is a mindset thing. And now that I'm in it, I almost sometimes beat myself up that when you told me about it day one, that I was not ready. But I've said it before, I wouldn't have handled this correctly. I would have mismanaged this opportunity because I wasn't wise enough, one, to say yes. And I wasn't around the right people. I was around naysayers. I was around people who said network marketing is a scam, it's a scheme, it's a Ponzi, it's a pyramid. And if you're going to listen to people that are broke and people that have less than you got to realize you're also buying their lifestyle. And so that's what we have to really start to pay attention to. And then so when I looked at you, I'm like, I want JP lifestyle. Okay, 70,000 a month, baby, sign me up.
Girl, listen, we are iron sharpening iron over here. And I just get excited about your story. And I hope people are getting excited with us today because this is just real talk about entrepreneurship. This is real talk about life and how we can add an additional stream of income, a $200 investment one time, $60 a month, $2 a day, and we can have 2 businesses with unlimited income. No limits. We just got done with the book, No Limits. How many of you want to walk into 2025 with no limits? You want something, a tool. That's all I needed. I hate people I don't like to borrow things. I don't like people giving me nothing. I'm actually uncomfortable. Who else is like me? I'm uncomfortable with receiving. Like, I'm not a good receiver because I enjoy giving so much, but I didn't have a vehicle to increase my income. So when Mr. Bradley began to pour into me, teach me, coach me, I was looking for people like you, people who were hungry. You already had the work ethic, you didn't have the vehicle. And so for a $200 investment, our brunch money, because in Houston, we like to have a good time. Houston is a food city, y'all. We like to have a good time. We do it big. We eat big. We got big, listen, how many of you want to go into 2025 with a purpose and a plan? And Brandi, in closing, you said the other day, Monday, I was on your team call, and you said this is the first year that I'm going into the year with a purpose and a plan. And what are your closing thoughts on that?
Absolutely. Every time the new year would roll around, we're always screaming Happy New Year.
New Year.
We ain't adding nothing new to make it a new year. We ain't adding nothing that's going to make it better than the year before. We're just using words loosely and hoping that there's going to be something that magically appears. There's a lot of people that pray for opportunity, and then they will scroll across this opportunity and be like, oh God, but not that. And God is trying to put you amongst people who's going to elevate your mind first, because nothing will change in your life until your mind changes. I don't care how many jobs you get, how many entrepreneurial ventures you take. There have been things that I have taken on and have failed because my mind was not yet positioned to win in it. So this business first is going to coach your mindset, your stinking thinking. I have a stack of books sitting up here that you have said, Brandi, read this. And I hated reading. I did not, and I don't know who said it either. Somebody said it is just as bad as not being able to read if you do not read and you can. And so the 10 distinctions between millionaires and middle class, this book right here shift my mindset in 2024 that I'm running it back in 2025, because I got to keep what I've learned in this book in my spirit. And if you're going to say Happy New Year to anybody this year, say it first to yourself, but then do something new. Do something different. Do it scared. I know people always say, even if you're scared, go ahead and do it. I like to say, do it anointed, because this business is really calling us to a higher level of thinking, a higher level of moving. And God has graced me throughout this whole entire process to be able to succeed in it. And listen, there's been months where my money has been funny and my change has been strange, like you say. And every single time, God finds a way to bless me and make sure I'm not missing anything. I remember we went with you, we sat at a dinner table. I didn't say no to the option, because anytime I'm able to sit under my mentor and get whatever nuggets of wisdom that I can get, I am there. I don't care what the cost is. And when it came time to get the bill, and I'm looking at the waitress and I'm like, where is my check? Because I was in struggle mode, but I had a credit card, you know what I'm saying? So I'm using a credit card. And then she goes, oh no, the lady that left already paid for your food. And I just was like, God, thank you. Like, because I'm where I'm supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm not at the Sunday fun day and acting like I got it and I ain't got it. And a lot of us, our reels are not matching what's real. And we need to change that.
Run that back.
Our reels are not matching what is real.
Oh, hold on. Somebody post that. Oh, our reels are not matching what is real. Oh, no. Jesus.
And we got to change that, because there's one thing to lie, but there's one thing to live a lie. And a lot of us are living a lie, and we got to own it, and then we got to fix it. That's it. Just own it and fix it. This is not one of them things to tear you down and talk about it. And stop saying that you're too busy and you got so much going on. And when you get into something, you really want to focus on that, and everything you touch, you really want to, because whatever you're focusing on right now is not getting you what you need. Because so clearly you're not focused. And I hear that a lot. I hear people say like, oh, but when I join anything, I like to give it my all. Well, what all have you given in these 40 something years? Because you're not there. Look, Coach.
Girl, we need a whole bucket to collect these nuggets.
I'm telling you.
I shouldn't have brought this paper bag, honey. This paper bag, I need a bucket to collect these nuggets. Thank you, Brandi Holmes Dennison. Y'all give it up for Director Brandi. 2025, my friend, is going to be one of the most amazing years. I can't say for you, because you're just getting started. So your $1 million year will be the most, but this is going to be an amazing year for you. Your team's going to double. Your money's going to double. You're going to continue to bless. This is an anointing for you. You didn't even realize you were on assignment. And I want the individuals that are on today, get back with the person who invited you to this Zoom. Get back with them, because we're all connected. We're all a family. You will see, if you're in Houston, we're all together on Thursdays. But there are individuals from around the world that are on this Zoom today that we get together. We'll be in Atlanta January the 7th. We'll be in Atlanta February the 8th. We'll be in Orlando, Florida, for our big convention. We will be in Monaco, honey, France. We will be in France. We will be in Miami for Eagle Week. So we're always on the go as a family. So if you want to, be around a different crew, this is for you. When people say, I need more information, then get your website up. Get your brunch money together. Get your website up, because all the information is on the website. So when people say, I need some more information, it's in your back office. The training will pop up. You can read to your heart's content. You can learn. Brandi got certified for Virgin, honey, and they gave her a Virgin cruise. She was on that Virgin cruise. So you can read about Princess Cruise, Virgin Cruises. You can read about whatever. You have 30 days to change your mind and get your little brunch money back and go to brunch. Okay, but I'm gonna encourage you to take that $200 and run on to freedom with that $200, honey, and join us at the best place on the planet. At 4 o'clock Central Standard Time, we will be on with the Travel Queen. This young lady took over the internet, and has built a social media empire. Brandi and Kiana, they gonna go online, they gonna go offline, and they gonna do it that way. But this young lady has been, I would say, Director LaVonda Thornton Bush. She's offline too, but she has dominated so if you want to learn how to dominate e-commerce, if you want to learn how this young lady at $250,000, when she was fired, told her job, listen, still I rise. She embodied Maya Angelou. And she said, still I rise. And honey, she just kept on going. So at 4 o'clock, get yourself started. Get your website up. Tell your friends, join me at 4 p.m. Central Standard to hear the last testimony of the day. So God bless. Have an amazing 2025, guys. Thank you for being on. Bye-bye. We're building an empire.